What's good, my G's? G stands for Gamers. It is I, your boy Snow of ignorantgamers.com. How you doing? How you living? How you gaming? So, let's just get right into it. Hopefully you guys been enjoying all the content on the channel. Blah, 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 etc, etc. You know, your boy Snow has been looking at the Drive Club, the elusive Drive Club. So, I said in previous videos that this game has been pushed back to almost a year from when it was supposed to have been announced. In case you haven't seen that video, I'm just going to say that Drive Club will release for the PlayStation 4 in October 7th of this year, 2014, which is the kick of gaming season, if you guys do not know. And it seems like IGN UK will be doing a ask the Drive Club developers anything you want. If you don't know who the developers are, that's Evolution Studios. These guys are pretty much responsible for the MotorStorm series, and I'm not going to go into more details in that. But before I even tell you what my questions are, my concerns about the games, I wanted to run down one vital piece of information so you guys are not wondering why I'm not asking about it, and that is the game is 1080p locked at 30 frames per second. They say this is what they wanted the game to achieve with their best vision, because they can get everything in the frames that they want, which is super highly detailed tracks and detailed vehicles, and also something to do with the dynamic system. If you guys want more information on that, I think I'll put it in the description maybe, I don't know, but that's pretty much it. There's no need for me to send you guys for random reading. Other than that, the PlayStation edition will still be out, and it'll be to limited tracks and limited cars, so it will be as of what I saw, a connected, fully connected game, the full offer of the game, but it will just be watered down to, let's just say, 5 tracks, 5 cars, or 10 tracks, 10 cars, or 10 cars, 5 tracks. I don't think they really said what number that was, and if they did, I'm sure one of you will be more than happy to correct me, and I am sorry for that. So, my top 20 questions that I hope gets answers. Even if half of them or 2 of them get answers, I think my questions are different. And there are a bunch of these questions that I saw after I wrote this, and they was pretty good, and I think that they will get answered, and I'll be happy and more than satisfied with those questions. For all the assholes out there who were tweeting shit that was already written about on publications such as GameSpot and IGN, screw you, you taking up space, and kill yourself online. Alright, so first question, is online racing rooms using user host connection or server? If it's server, will it be on the cloud? Everything's supposed to be on the cloud, so how will this help? I've been playing Forza 5, and Forza 5 cloud, I guess, is better than Forza 4, whatever that was. In comparison, you can't really tell the difference, but I'll get into other that stuff later. Second question, will AR cars be rendered through cloud services? If Titanfall is rendering stuff from the cloud and that's taking the load off the game, can we get the AI cars to do the same when you're online? And that also sets up another question. Question number 3, can generic AI be replaced with drivers from around the world and AI versions of my friends, aka Drivatar, aka the only thing that I really love about Forza 5. Okay, next question, number 4, what kind of community features are available? Are we talking designs, tunes, coaching, challenges, gifting, etc.? Question number 5, will the game have many levels of drive assist that can be turned on and off to suit casual and sim style drivers? Less assist equal more XP. This is something I've also learned through career mode on Forza 5, and I think it's actually pretty dope. It's actually challenged me to become a better driver with less assists. It can be frustrating, but it's still a challenge. Next question, number 6, any tutorials for casual racers coming from the strict arcade ways of driving, by adding braking lines, apex, etc, aka the assist while you're doing that, and also teach you how to do these. So That's really cool. I think Gran Turismo, if you can ever muster up to go do it, does teach you that stuff, but everyone else doesn't. They just give you the ghost line, or the guided line, or the best scientific line. I forget what they call it, the racer line. Question 7. Will there be a drag race mode? And not just the drag race modes that you see in other games, but like Need for Speed Underground 1 and 2. If you've never played those drag racing modes, I'm going to tell you right now, you've missed on the best drag racing I've ever seen in my life. And you might want to YouTube that. I'm pretty sure someone's posted up. That's part of the reason why we want Underground 3. Next question, number 8. On a scale of 1 to 5, what level of cosmetic alterations and upgrades can be made? So I'm talking customizations, make your car personal to you, etc., etc., and personal to your club. Question 9. Damage and dirty. I'm sorry, that's a broken question, but does damage change the way the car handles? I'm referencing Grid 2 type damage, cause and effect. When I'm playing Grid 2 and I take damage, eventually things happen. I've even taken fender damage that looks or appears to me been rubbing on my tire, and eventually I lose a tire, and you know, do the cars get dirty? Question 10. Exactly what does social mean? In my opinion, not to bring them up, but DriveClub can be classified as welcome social features. I wrote that question because the whole game is supposed to be focused on social, and yet it's almost what, 6 months later, 7 months later, and we still have no idea what this social thing means. Next question, 11. Will we have weather and time of day racing? Even better, during the race, does it changes during the race? Real forecast, maybe for location, dynamically done, who knows? So basically, if it's supposed to be midday showers and you happen to be playing the game at that time, will that factor into the game? Question 12. Rally has been missing. Have you guys thought of adding it as potential DLC in the future? Sorry. And yeah, that's pretty much straightforward. I think that will expand the game and make it fun. Shout out to Dirt, if there's ever another Dirt coming out. Question 13. How much of the game can be played online for groups of players without a club? So this is a club racing game, a team racing game, a clan racing game, however you want to say that. But will there be places for individual racers just getting in race? That's what I'm asking. How much, question 14, how much of the in-game events are like Need for Speed Rivals, Most Wanted, in-world race objectives while doing driving assignments, etc.? So being that what I did pull from the trailer, you know, it seemed like the cars were racing, and then they got to a section of the race where they had to drift, and then they got to another section where they had to get through that section in the best amount of time. If this is what they call social, I'm already seeing this in games like Need for Speed Rivals and Most Wanted. It's a cool feature. I like it. It adds some variant to inside the race while you're doing it. Same thing with the assignments in Need for Speed Rivals. So I just want to know if this is what they're talking about. Question 15. Any downhill racing and any drifting only modes? Downhill racing, I think it's called the Tooge or something like that, and I know they do drifting on that. Downhill racing is the one and done, and you know, get down there first or you lose. Would be great if question 14 is a yes. So question 15 would be enhanced if question 14 is a yes. Number 16. How many game modes or race modes are there? Question 17. What features will the touchpad as a swipe enable while in game? You know it's the PS4, you know it's the PlayStation brand, you know this is PlayStation exclusive because it's a PlayStation franchise, so there must be some type of touchpad interface. Question 18. Will there be something like autolog social features for locating task races, etc.? And again, sorry, I'm trying to understand the social. I remember when autolog first hit, the first game I saw it, I didn't understand it, but I thought it was pretty dope. Most Wanted helped me fully understand that, and I think Most Wanted is amazing at getting that social autolog feature out. Shift 2 had it as well, but I swear to you, Autolog perfected it, or at least gave me the full concept of it. Will it be something like that? Who knows? It'd be dope. I don't know if the game is open world, and I don't care that, which is why it's not one of my questions. Question 19. For retail, how many cars and tracks at launch? This is the biggest question, and I'm asking this question because I know everyone's going to ask this question, but they really need to answer this question. And what is the second part of this question is, what is the goal moving through release, DLC packs, and passes? I ask that because when you have a card game these days, a lot of people tend to breadcrumb you, and you mistake the breadcrumbs for a full game that you're paying for beyond the $60. So some of you may not know what I'm talking about. I am not referencing Titanfall because I think the game mechanics of it is short, but I think the game is complete in terms of maps. Maybe not guns, but in terms of maps. So what I'm asking is, would you give us a standard amount of tracks and cars, and then will there be a plan to release more tracks, more cars, and maybe even more features? And that way we feel like it's a completion package, because if it's short on tracks and cars, then I may wait on actually buying or upgrading from the PlayStation Plus edition to the full retail edition and just go buy a hard copy of the game where I know I can get a deal on it. And then my last question is, what will the XP, reputation, and credit system be? We're talking basically 3 things, and minimum 3 things. If you played Forza 5, if you played I think even Forza 4, if you played Need for Speed, you know, you got your rep, you got your XP, and then you got the credits. I don't think Most Wanted has credits, but the credits is basically what you're buying. The rep is basically your rank, and then the XP also goes with that in order to boost your rep or something like that. It's one of those tricky things. I want to know how it works. How does it cross from your as an individual player and as to a team? And then a bonus question, which is not my question. I saw the question and I wasn't even thinking about it, which was it came from this guy named Skeleki on Twitter, and basically he wanted to know how many clubs can race together in Drive Club. And here's why I love that question. NASCAR is technically team racing. Those races are very competitive, even among teammates themselves. Same thing with Olympic racing events, and this goes from track and field to the Ludes to the X Games to you know, the X Winter Sports stuff, all that stuff. Also, since the rooms are confirmed for 12 races to a room, there's possibles for some variance to happen. 12 races, the traditional way is obvious, which is 1 versus 1, every man for themselves, free for all. But here are some examples of what could be possible. 12 races, 6 teams, so that's 2 versus blah blah blah. 12 races equal 4 teams, 3 versus blah blah blah. 12 races as 3 teams, which is 4 versus 4, and then of course 6 versus 6. Now I would like to see 3 versus 3, and 4 versus 4. I think the 2s can be pretty dope too, because, you know, in most team things of this nature, of speed, of this kind of high speed, you kind of, you know, it intensifies that you guys could draft each other, you know, you guys can box people out, and all these things while you're racing. And if your team is losing, let's just say the social thing above it that I spoke about earlier is like Need for Speed on the drift. If it's both of y'all coming in a turn, and one of y'all at the front of the pack and the other's at the back of the pack, and you can pretty much alternate like who's gonna do what. So if your team, if your guy is the first guy through the hole and he busts, let's just say 140 on a drift, and you happen to be somewhere towards the back, and someone about, you know, does a 150, so your guy in the back knows that he needs to get more than 150 in order to leave that section of the course with that marked for their team. It gives you the second chance. Of course, another teammate of another team can do the same thing, but it just makes that much more intense. It makes you pay attention to these things instead of it being just a mindless task. If you've never seen the movie Thrashing or the movie Airborne, look it up on YouTube, at least Thrashing. If you get to Thrashing, I do believe that it is on YouTube. Actually, I put it in a post. It's 1:17:38, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. But those are my questions. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. Again, I'm also linking the article in the description for this post that I wrote. You guys can get on there and press the click to tweet if you just want to help me get some of these questions, or if you agree with some of the questions that I have, you can click on it as well, and it will tweet it out to Twitter in the same exact way that I wrote it. Alright, so this your boy Snow, Ignorant Gamers, and I'm out. 1.